is a pop group from Korea. That's got to be an exaggeration, but you know that it's not an exaggeration.
BTS의 효과로 중동까지 설레합니다. 그중 최근 두바이를 방문한 BTS로 인해 더욱 기대감은 가중되고 있는 상황이죠. 특히 BTS 공연에 군침을 흘리고 있는 두바이인데 한 방송에서 경제학자와의 인터뷰를 통해 BTS가 공연을 유치하면 어떤 일이 벌어질지 소름 돋는 전망을 밝히기도 했습니다. 이 방송에서는 BTS가 어떤 위치에 있으며 어떤 힘을 지녔는지 언급하기 시작하는데요.
As I mentioned, entertainment. Next, loosely entertainment, more its effect on the economy. But BTS are, I suppose, of all the boy bands, they've been likened to the Beatles, and you can certainly see that when people are clamoring to get anywhere near them. Certainly the big boy band on earth. The Bangtan Boys is another way of referring to them. South Korean boy band formed in 2010. They've officially confirmed a 2026 to 2027 world tour. And this is after their reunion last June. Now, dates this year are going to focus on Korea, Japan, and the United States. But according to Time Out, lots of other media, they are explicitly planning to include the Middle East region in their tour. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, perhaps Riyadh as well. So what might a visit from one of the biggest boy band success stories ever mean for us here? There's the question. Dr. Yelena Yanusovic is the Deputy Global Head of Accountancy, Economics and Finance at Heriot-Watt University. I mentioned the biggest boy band in the world. They've achieved the level of global success, cultural impact, I think, and commercial dominance rarely seen in music history, very akin to the very early days of the Beatles in America. The scenes are familiar. The thing with BTS is their success kind of transcends this whole K-pop genre. They're a major global pop act, so it's a really big deal that they're back together. First of all, a huge entertainment spectacle. It's something for the fans to look forward to and savor. But it's a bit more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that this topic is listed on your agenda. When we talk about the concepts like BTS, and you gave very good introduction, it is actually important to frame it correctly. This is not just one more music or entertaining event. It is actually, from economic point of view, seen as a large-scale mobile demand shock that actually operates across different sectors or industry: tourism, transport, hospitality, retail, and creative economy. So from economics and finance perspective, BTS concepts behave more like a mega sporting events than some traditional concerts, because they mobilize international travel, they mobilize high intensity spending and global media exposure within a very short time frame. And it is very relevant for Dubai and Riyadh and even for wider MENA region, because these cities have their specifics, and that is that they already possess infrastructure, connectivity, and I would say strong tourism ambition, which is needed to convert a single concert into a much broader economic and reputational gain.
두바이의 경제학자는 BTS 공연이 단순한 공연 한 번이 아니라 월드컵이나 올림픽 같은 대형 스포츠 개최회와 비슷하다고 할 정도입니다. 지금 벌어지는 밀라노 동계올림픽의 효과를 K-팝 가수 그룹 하나가 만들어낸다고 봐도 된다는 거죠. 마치 두바이의 설날이라 해도 될 정도의 대목인데요. 설 선물로 이로움랩 100억 마리, 유산균 하나면 딱 좋은데 말이죠. 장건강이 좋지 않거나 민감한 분들과 아무거나 먹으면 안 되는 임산부까지 온 가족이 함께 먹을 수 있는 제품입니다. 이미 병원과 약국에 입점한 제품이라 건강검진 후 복부 통증을 호소하면 이로움랩의 유산균으로 안내된다고 하는데요. 한 포에 들어있는 100억 마리의 유산균이 위산을 뚫고 살아남게 되면 소장과 대장에 서식하며 장내 환경을 새롭고 탄탄하게 만들어 전신의 건강까지 책임지는 온 가족을 위한 제품이죠. 설맞이 초특가 할인으로 최대 46%까지 저렴하게 구매할 수 있으며 추가 구매 혜택도 있습니다. 제 유튜브에 기재된 링크로만 가능한 혜택이니 이번에 많이 쟁여두시고 장건강 챙기시는 걸 추천드립니다. 이어서 이 경제학자는 BTS 공연이 두바이에 미치는 단기적인 영향과 장기적인 영향에 대해 설명하는데 그야말로 엄청납니다.
I mean, I want to talk to you about some of the, what it's going to mean for the economy, both the short term and the slightly longer term as well. But just to give this a little bit more context, and it's interesting that you use the word shock there, because it's the impact of this. If you look at what they've contributed to the South Korean economy, something like $5 billion. I mean, that impacts a country's GDP. This is a pop group. How do you think a BTS concert in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi or maybe even in Riyadh might influence tourism inflows in the short term?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is a very important, as you said. It is an entertaining event, but it is actually seen as a huge positive shock to the economy, local economy, and definitely there are some impacts that will be visible in a very short term, but also there are some that are more strategic and seen in the long run. So in a short term, typically within the concert week or in period around the concert week, what we see are very clear and measurable effects. So the past experience of similar events, mega tours, are evidence is showing that actually 30 to 50% of the attendees are coming from outside the city, of the host city. So, and significant or substantial share actually are also international visitors. So these visitors actually arrive earlier and stay a little bit longer than the average leisure tourists. They spend more per day also, particularly on accommodation, transport, food. And they are less price sensitive, which is within this week of the event, we will see probably higher hotel rates and airline yields. So in hubs like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and even Riyadh, this effect is amplified because fans can easily combine the concert with a short holiday. From tourism standpoint or economic standpoint, this is high quality demand because it is pre-planned, it is time-bound, and resilient to price increases. So what we can see in a short line is absolutely in practical terms is hotel occupancy spikes, higher average daily room rates, increased flights booking, higher footfall in malls, restaurants, and entertainment districts. But of course, there are some more long-term impacts, which I call destination effects, absolutely. But what I want also to add is, I mentioned this is all short-term, okay?
먼저 단기적인 영향을 얘기했는데 정말 도시 모든 부분에 어마어마한 경제적 기여를 할 것으로 보고 있습니다. 아랍에미리트 입장에서는 석유 의존도를 낮추고 관광과 다른 산업으로 다각화된 경제 구조를 추진 중인데 BTS의 공연이 또 한 번 기점이 될 수도 있는 기회죠. 이어서 장기적인 영향까지 줄 수 있는 BTS의 효과를 말하기 시작하는 박사인데요.
But what I wanted to stress is this long-term impact. The longer-term impact is where there is strategic value, where strategic value lies. So many fans are visiting city for the first time because they want to attend this event, but later they can return and usually are returning as a leisure tourist, as even coming for business or as a student. And actually, this is something that is already very much evidenced through the academic and research that actually these type of events are really creating long-term effect. What is very powerful with the BTS is the digital amplification effect. So this single concert actually is generating and will generate millions of pieces of user-generated content. So pictures, photos, videos, live streams, and so on. Even for Beyoncé, which was practically by invitation event, still it really demonstrated high economic value for the overall Dubai economy. BTS, I would say, is even represents a step change in scale because it is, I would say, it's a more mobile international fan base, and Dubai and Riyadh hopefully will be on the tour list, being recognized as destinations who have infrastructure, who have logistics, who have abilities, but also supporting services to organize such events is fact. So economic, and in this aspect, economic and tourism impact is not only confined to one city. It practically radiates across the region, and this is that importance, and this is where sustainability and strategic lenses take place.
this is a pop group from Korea. That's got to be an exaggeration, but you know that it's not an exaggeration, and you're absolutely right. It will bring people from across the region, the GCC, from North Africa, from Europe. I would hazard a guess that if you're an American fan and you got yourself a ticket for Dubai, you would seriously think about coming over. It's people from everywhere, and it offers, I think. There's a little bit of history in this as well, without using too much hyperbole, but it's giving a generation of fans of all ages, in the case of BTS, the opportunity to engage in, a unique kind of shared experience. The buzz is going to be palpable, and I can't think of a precedent for this. So the news is that we should be having BTS in Dubai, perhaps in Riyadh as part of the tour, maybe next year, 2027.
이렇게 BTS의 공연은 역사적 순간이라는 확신까지 하고 있는 중이네요. 이게 바로 최고 부국 중 하나인 아랍에미리트가 BTS 공연을 유치하려는 이유입니다. 중동 지역의 아미들은 내년 27년 소식을 한번 기대해 보길 바랍니다. 여러분, 구독자가 7,000명을 넘어섰습니다. 그러나 오늘은 구독을 부탁드리지 않겠습니다. 중간 유료 광고를 봐주시고 제품을 사주시는 분들께 더 이상 부탁드리고 싶지 않아서입니다. 덕을 쌓아 복이 온다고 하니 그동안 쌓아온 덕을 확인할 계기가 될 것 같습니다. 감사드립니다.